Hello again everybody, and welcome to another Make Like YouTube video. I hope you're having a good week. This week I thought it would be really fun to show you how I style a flat lay. You might have spotted this on my Periscope a couple of weeks ago, but Periscope only lasts 24 hours, so if you didn't get to see it then, it's gone, or if you wanted to replay it, then obviously we can't do that. So here I am sharing a flat lay again. You might have seen on my Instagram stream that this month I have joined forces with Styling the Seasons, with Katie from Apartment Apothecary and Charlotte from Lots and Lots, and they run this beautiful thing called Styling the Seasons. And this month the challenge is to style a seasonal flat lay, and if you are chosen by us, then you will win a place on one of my workshops or one of my online courses. The choice is yours. So if you would like to enter this, then please pop over to my Instagram stream or my blog and have a look for full details of how to enter, and hopefully today's video will give you some inspiration on how to create your flat lay. So the first thing I look for in a flat lay when I'm creating one is the background. A couple of weeks ago on here I was talking about backgrounds, and if you haven't seen that one you can replay that. Backgrounds are so important in images, and on a flat lay I think they make or break a flat lay. One of my favourite surfaces is this wooden table that you will have seen many times on my Instagram stream, and on probably on one of the background images that I was talking about when I was talking about how important backgrounds are. I was talking around this table. So this is a lovely table because it's old and battered and vintage, and it's quite a dark wood, so it makes a great background for flat lays. White backgrounds make great backgrounds too, and black card, white card, grey card are all great backgrounds for your flat lay. You might have a lovely floor that works really well, or wrapping paper is great to do a flat lay on as well. Just make sure the things that you are putting on the flat lay work really well, photograph well with your background. So when I start a flat lay, I will put one of the things that I want to go, that I know I want to go into the flat lay, down on my background, and I will take a picture to check that it's looking good, that that's working on the background, and that's what I want to create it on. If I do a test shot of that and realise that these scissors, for example, don't go on this background, then I will switch background straight away. I won't carry on because there's nothing worse than doing a whole flat lay and then realising that it doesn't work on your background. That's not very enjoyable at all. I've got this cup of tea here because it is actually a cup of tea that I'm drinking, but it's also a really sweet thing to add to a flat lay. So I often bring my cup of tea to my flat lay table, and I will just pop it there, and we'll add that in at some point on here. So just moving my little new micro. Oh dear, that's wobbled it. So sorry everybody. Teething problems of learning how to video and do YouTube in quite a noisy building. So I have now got a microphone, which is wonderful, but the microphone is attached to my iPhone, and I'm just working out the best way of dealing with this. Anyway, so bear with me. So I am going to be styling my flat lay. I am going to be using these scissors. I love these scissors in a flat lay. You've probably seen them on Instagram. If you have a look on there, you will find them. And when I'm building a flat lay, I'm thinking of several things. I'm thinking of the colours of the things that I'm using. So here I've got these roses that they're a few days old now. There we go, they're dropping petals, but the petals will be lovely to join in with the flat lay, so I don't mind about a few dropped petals. These are quite squashed roses, but they've got a lovely kind of orangey kind of glow to them, and they work really nicely in an autumnal flat lay, or they will do. And I'm pulling out a few of these petals. Here we go. because they will just be really nice to spread around. What else shall I add to this? So I've got, when I do a flat lay, I gather lots of things that I think are going to work, and so I have them like all on my table, on the side of my table, a bit like doing a craft project. I kind of gather all the things that I think I'm going to need, and then I have them there ready. Some of the things I don't use, some of the things I get frustrated and I want to include them and I can't, and then I think, oh, okay, that will have to go on another flat lay, or it's just not meant to happen today. So I've got a little pumpkin guy. Let's see if he will go there. I never do flat lays when I'm sitting down. This is quite frustrating, but I'm sitting down so that I can talk to you while doing this flat lay. I'm just adding all these little things here. What else have I got? I've got some little buttons. You can see these little buttons. So I'll pop some of those in. And really what I'm doing, and the reason I don't ever do this sitting down, is because I want to be looking down like this. I want to be looking over it and seeing, is everything measuring up? Are there any gaps? Am I creating a square? Now, if I'm creating a flat lay for Instagram, I want to make sure it's square, because again, a bit like the background issue, I don't want to make a big flat lay and then realize it's rectangular, or there's a big gaping hole if it's a square, or there's a really big key piece missing, something like that. I don't want any of that. Thank you very much. So I am just popping little thing of lace there, which I love at the moment. You've probably seen all these things popping up in my Instagram. I've got a little picture of a deer there. He's very cute and very autumnal. Soon it will be time for winter flat lays. I think it's going to be lovely to see the flat lays for November, because it's such a, we start off with autumn this week, but it's really going to be winter, isn't it, by the time the month is ended. So you might not want to go with these pumpkin things. You might want to go with much more winter feel, but I'm holding on to autumn for as long as I can because I love it so much. So now I'm just adding some little pink flowers in. I don't do many flat lays that don't involve pink, but that's just me, personal thing. What else have I got? So you just keep building it up. Now, when you do a flat lay, more is not always the way. So where's that going? So it's not always that you want lots more. Sometimes you want less, sometimes you want a really sleek flat lay that doesn't have so much going on. But this one is quite a busy one, so that's okay. But it's just to bear in mind, you don't have to put everything you own into one flat lay. You can keep them simple. Now, when I do a flat lay, it's quite tricky for me to talk through a flat lay because I really treasure doing flat lays, and I try to do one every time I'm in my studio, and sometimes I do them at home as well because I find them really calming. I find it quite like a meditation doing a flat lay. So when I start to talk, when I'm trying to do a flat lay, when I'm trying to teach flat lay, I find it really weird, and I find it quite hard to concentrate on what I'm doing and talk at the same time because I'm so used to kind of going into this little zone of doing a flat lay and just working with my hands really, and sort of forgetting. My mind calms down completely. I don't stress. I just work with my hands and create this image. So it's always quite a challenge for me to teach how I do it because sometimes I don't really know. I just do the thing and I'm in the moment. And so I really have to reflect afterwards to think, well, what did I do if I'm going to teach it? But I am really enjoying teaching flat lays now, even though it's a bit weird for my poor little, my head to do it at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look. I have a look all around the flat lay, see if there's any gaps, see if maybe, There's my good old microphone again. Over the weeks, I'm going to find out how to sort this out. Oh, sorry, I'm wobbling it again. This is not going to be my best ever YouTube video. I'm very sorry. But hopefully it's giving you lots of flat lay tips while the screen is wobbling. So I've got this little pumpkin squash gourd thing here. And I wondered if he looked a bit strange on his own. So I'm just bringing in another one here to pop down there, just to level that out a little bit. So I think I am happy with that. Now, what I would do with my cup of tea is I would probably do this flat lay as I have it without the tea, and then I would bring the tea in. So say I was going to bring it in here, and then I would bring it in here, and I would probably do one with tea and one without tea. I really like when I do a flat lay to try and create more than one image. So I create the flat lay itself, and then I'll see if there are any details within it, and then I will do something like bring a cup of tea in, or maybe I will bring in a plate, like I have this plate here. So maybe I might do another version where these flowers go on the plate and that goes in the flat lay there. Or another thing I might do is add some fabric, and perhaps the fabric will sit on the table and then have something on top of it like that. So there we go. I'm going to show you now what the flat lay looks like from above, and then after that, if you pop over to my blog at makelight.io, you will see the images that I have created from this flat lay. So here we have the flat lay from above. So as you can see, we've got the roses and the scissors and the lace ribbon and some leaves and some petals and a tiny bottle and a little card with a deer on. All these lovely things. And that's how it looks from above, and it's all on my lovely wooden table. So I think that is going to look really lovely. And I will now take some images for you, and I will share those over on my blog. So I hope that's given you lots to think about, and that you will go and create some flat lays and share them on Styling the Seasons this month so I can see them. I'll really enjoy that. That'll be really lovely. And if you want to know more about flat lays or more about taking photographs, then this month I am also running an online photography for beginners course, and you can find details on that on makelight.io. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I will see you next week. Bye.